look so bright.
The beginning of a new year is always an exciting time, a time where most people set their New Year's resolutions. At the beginning of the year, everyone is all in to their New Year's resolution goals. And yet 3 weeks later, we stop and we're over it. We think to ourselves, this is too hard, or this life's just not for me. Or the worst of all, I'll just start up again next year. This is a terrible mindset to slip back into. Most people set New Year's resolutions because they feel as though the goals they choose to chase after or the habits that they choose to break will bring them more joy and help them to achieve the life of their dream. And the start of the new year always seems like the best time to do this and make change. So the journey begins. We write, or, well, I type, down all our New Year's resolutions and things that we want to accomplish in 2022. Some of the most common New Year's resolutions are: number 1, to get healthy; number 2, to exercise more; number 3, to lose weight; number 4, to spend more time with family and friends; number 5, to spend less time on social media; number 6, to live more economically; number 7, to focus more on our mental health and stress management. So most would consider these to be pretty reasonable goals. I mean, I certainly do. They're definitely on my list of goals that I want to achieve in 2022. So why do people stop working on achieving these goals that they set at the beginning of every year? Well, let's define a resolution versus a goal, because the biggest thing that I think people miss out on is that we set resolutions and not goals. So here's the difference. A resolution is a firm decision to do or not to do something, while a goal is the end to which effort is directed. So essentially, a resolution is more so dealing with breaking bad habits that we know are preventing us from reaching our full potential, while a goal is set with an actual end result in mind that gives reason to why we do or don't do something. So the biggest thing there is that the goal gives us a reason and keeps that end goal in mind that can motivate us in the long run and keep us consistent in trying to work towards our goals, which will often lead to our achievement of those goals. So a goal gives us motivation because we have the end picture in mind, opposed to resolution. So now that we know that goals are the more efficient route to take, how do we set goals that will get us to the place that we need to be? Well, we can start by creating some SMART goals. These are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based goals. So let's start with the first letter S. Specific goals are ones that narrow down your goals in a way that allows you to plan out ways to achieve those goals in your everyday life. So when you have specific goals, you want to have and assemble some systems in your life. And systems, in my opinion, are just daily habits that you form that allow you to consistently make progress on your short or long-term goals. Here's an example. You wake up an hour earlier to exercise. This waking up an hour earlier will give you more time to exercise. And once this is made into a habit, you'll feel more compelled to complete your daily workout every day as it becomes more comfortable and therefore proven to be sustainable in the long run. Letter M. You want to have some measurable goals. So here's another example. Don't just say that you want to lose weight. Create your goal weight, which will help you to measure your progress in the long run. You can measure goals in days, weeks, or set specific goals for each month. So you could say, quote, I want to read 3 books a month, which may equate to you reading 30 pages a day to get to that goal. So you want to be able to measure this in all different ways of time to help you achieve the goal that you want to implement into your life. Now on to letter A, attainable goals. Again, let's just go and say that you want to lose weight, because I know this is probably on everyone's New Year's resolution is to get healthy. So in order to lose weight and make sure that that weight that you set is attainable, you may want to calculate your BMI, and your BMI will tell you your goal weight range, and this will assure you that your goal weight is actually attainable and healthy and sustainable for you, which can give you that extra motivation if the goal that you set is in that range to know that you can actually attain that goal in the time frame that you are looking at. So that leads us on to letter R, and so we're almost there. So think to yourself, are the goals that I'm setting relevant to the time and situation that I am in? So many of us, we have so many different things going on, and sometimes it's just not the time to go and get these goals done. So please think to yourself, are these goals relevant to the things that are in my life now? Do I have the time for it? Can I make the time for it? Is this an appropriate time to actually go after these goals? And if it is, then lucky for you, you can start on these goals right away in 2022. And lastly, we have letter T, which are time-based goals. So think to yourself, how much time am I willing to give myself to complete the goals that I have set? Maybe it's a couple weeks, months, year, or maybe even a couple years. But please set an end date that will help you to keep track of your progress and make sure that you're making an appropriate amount of progress as well. So that makes letter M 100 times more measurable in the long run. So that is an overview of some SMART goals. That was a lot. But here's a recap of everything that we've talked about. Write this down. Instead of relying on the inconsistency that resolutions bring in our lives, we in 2022 are going to focus on setting goals, but not just any goals, SMART goals. These are goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So I hope that this was very helpful for all of those who are trying to really change their lives in 2022 and accomplish all the goals that they are setting for themselves. Please leave a comment down below of maybe 1 or 2 goals that you are currently chasing after in 2022, and maybe a little bit about your plan to go and achieve them. If this video was helpful to you, please leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, because I am going to be doing more things centered about reaching our New Year's resolution or goals for 2022. Subscribe, hit that bell button so that you won't miss any new content from me. And as always, stay blessed. Bye.
It gets better in time. Keep your head up, keep your shine. Hold my hand.